start copying these questions down so that when we get to it, you can just go through them with us.
I'm silly. Oh, you're recording.
Okay. The first part of 2.4, 2.5, you will need to explain the difference between a no solution and an identity. It's going to ask you to talk about the variables and what happens with the variables. Well, a no solution, the variables will cancel out and you will be left with a true or false statement. What do you think? In a no solution, it's going to be a true or a false statement. What is it going to be? A false, because it's no solution. False statement. So if I were to give an example, I'm going to, like, -6 equals 6. Is that true or false? That's false, right? So if the variables cancel out and you're left with a false statement, that is a no solution. Okay, then you're going to have to write same with identity, but if the variables cancel out, then you're left with a what? Okay, well, if the no solution was a false statement, what do you think the identity is going to be?
A true statement.
Okay, left with a true statement. Nope, that is one solution. Okay, so if you have, say, x plus 4 equals x plus 4, if I take away an x on the left side, I'm going to take one x away. I would take an x away on both sides, right? I'm left with 4 equals 4. That is true, so that is an identity. An identity is also a what? All real numbers. Okay? The next few, you're going to have to solve the equation. So in the first one, I have variables on both sides. So I'm going to highlight my variables. And then in green, and then the blue is just going to be my constants. So I want all the same colors on the same side. So I want to get rid of my 13x. Why are we on our iPads? What are you looking at? Get off that right now. Okay, so 13x and 15x are on either side. I want to get rid of it on this side so that I only have it left on this side. But what am I going to do to take away, how do I get rid of 13x? I subtract 13x on both sides.
Should the final number write x with it?
Yes, you need to. You should, because if you just wrote 13, 15 minus 13, 15x minus 13, those aren't like terms. So yes, you should. I probably honestly won't catch it though if you still have the correct answer and when going through the work. So 15x minus 13x, they are like terms, so I can combine them. I have 2x equals, and what's left over here? Well, this cancels out. 12. Okay? Divide both sides by 2. Okay, the next one. I'm going to go ahead again and highlight in green, the variable, and in blue, the constants. If you notice, I highlighted that minus sign also with that 4H because that goes with it. So you're going to see that you have green on both sides of your equal sign. You only want the green on the one side. So, go ahead.
Would there be a 1 H?
Yes. So this is 1. And then I'm going to look for the smaller variable term. So -4 or h, which is smaller? -4. So I'm gonna get rid of that one first. And how do I get rid of a -4h? I add 4h on both sides. Julia, get off the iPad. This will cancel out. I'm only left with the blue 10 equals. This becomes 5h now because I had 1 before and I'm adding 4. So again, I'm going to highlight in green my variables, and my constants are just numbers. I'm going to do blue. Again, I have blue on both sides. I have the green now contained to one side. I need the blue off of this side. So how do I get rid of +5? Subtract 5 on both sides. I get 5 equals 5h. So now divide by 5. 1 equals h. I will tell you, doing this on both sides is going to be worth, so like this step right here and here and here. So this would be, and then getting this answer. So this right here is 1 point. This right here is another. And then this dividing both sides and getting your answer is another. So that's 1, 2, 3 points right there. If you ever have to simplify, that's going to be a point. Mainly on this one, make sure that you see that that minus sign goes with that 4h. All right, again, variables I'm going to highlight in green, and blue are just my numbers. Again, I want to get all my greens on one side, all my blues on the other. So I need to look for my smaller variable term and get rid of it. So add 2x on both sides because I have a -2x and I need to get rid of it. So these will cancel out. Blue 7 is left. This becomes 6x minus 2. Remembering that when I'm adding something to both sides, a lot of times kids will see that -2 and +2x and they'll cancel out and it'll become 0. Why can I not combine these two right here? One has a variable and one's just a constant. They're not like terms, so you cannot do it. All right, then I would add 2 on both sides, and I get 6x equals 9. I have to divide both sides by
6.
6. X equals, and we're going to do 6 goes into 9 one time with a remainder of 3, which would be 1/2. So 1/2. Because if I see 9 divided by 6.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Okay. On this one, I have, if I see, green is going to be my variables. So I'm going to highlight my variables. And then I'm going to highlight in blue just my numbers. And again, that minus, I should have done this one here. Minus goes with that one. On the left side, I have 2 greens, so I want to combine those. -5 plus 2x is a -3x. Okay, first step is just to combine any like terms on either side first. So 14 minus 2 is, so these two are like terms. What's 14 minus 2?
12.
12. So I have 12 minus 3x. So now I want to look for my smaller variable term. So I have a -3x. So what do I do to get rid of -3x? I'm going to add 3x to both sides. So now, no, -3x plus 3 is, that goes away. So 12 equals 12, and then -3 plus 3 is?
0.
Is 0. That also goes away. If you notice that, and this is a true statement, what do you get?
Identity.
Identity. Also, you could put or all real numbers.
That's too much work.
You will have one on here like that tomorrow. You also, if you got down to, instead of, if say it was 15 equals 12. Completely different problem. 15 equals 12, what would that be? That's false, right? That's not true. So that would be a no solution, right? Okay. Same perimeter. Both of these have the same perimeter. I need to solve for x. So this plus this plus this is equal to this plus this plus this plus this, right?
Yes.
So I need to set it up. 3x plus 2 plus x plus 10 plus 7x plus 5 equals 6x plus 6x. Could I just multiply that by a number? If I'm adding it, repeated addition is what? The same as multiplication, right? So you can do 6x times 4, right? Okay. Parenthesis, I need to multiply it by 4. So what is 6x times 4? So it's 24x. And then over here, look for all your variable terms. This is important. This x, Brayden, what does the x have before it? In front of it. What does this x have in front of it?
A 1.
A 1. So I have 3x plus 1x, that is 4x, plus 7x is 11x. Okay, then I'm going to look for all my just numbers. So 2 plus 10 plus 5, which is? So plus 17 equals 24x. Subtract what on both sides?
17.
Now, I would actually, do you see how you have two variable over here?
Yeah.
And here, and then just the number on this side? So you're going to keep the blues on the left side, and I would subtract that 11x on both sides. So 17 equals 13x. I did not make these numbers very nice and neat. Doesn't matter what the numbers are, like even if they're not nice, neat numbers. What is my next step? Divide both sides by?
Sure.
13.
13. Yep, 1 and 4 13ths equals x. And again, these should be nice, neat numbers tomorrow. Okay? Sorry. The next one. If you notice, the last sentence says, write an equation to solve for a candy bar. So it's giving you what you need to look for, right? So Joe and friends went to the mall. They bought 5 drinks and 2 candy bars for $35.50. That's a lot of money. If each drink costs $2.50 less than a candy bar, write an equation to solve for the candy bar. Well, first, think about this. A drink plus the candy is going to equal what?
This candy bar must be like 20 bucks.
$35.50. This is representing the amount of each, right? So how many drinks did you buy? 5. And how many candy bars? 2. So do you see how they did that? But now, each drink costs $2.50 less than a candy bar. So instead of drink, we're going to put less than C minus 250. So I put that in there, and that's 5. So plus 2C equals 35.50, right? I would now distribute this in here. What's 5 times C?
5C.
5C. And then minus 5 times 250. Is that 1250?
I think so. Yeah.
Well,
Minus 1250 equals 35.50. What am I forgetting here?